Say something.
Hello everyone, my name is Joe, welcome to the Genius of Joe. Today guys, we'll be discussing 3 tips that will change your portrait photography for the better. But before we start guys, I just want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Joe, of course. I'm a professional portrait photographer looking to help other portrait photographers like yourself not only improve, but start to make distinctive work that actually stands out to the rest of the competition and get more clients. If that seems interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel guys, and once I've gained your trust and you want advice beyond these YouTube videos, top links in the description is my one-to-one portrait photography coaching program where I personally will go on calls with you, I'll critique your portrait work, and I'll just give you any general portrait photography advice that I have gained over multiple years of experience so you guys can start accelerating your portrait photography progress now rather than later. So again guys, if that's interesting, top links in the description so you can check it out and learn more. Okay, let's get on to the first tip. Adjust your external factors accordingly to the theme or story you want to tell in your photos. Okay, so what do I mean by external factors? Well, basically everything in the photo shoot that isn't your cameras, your lenses, your lighting, basically anything to do with your gear. But obviously you need to keep in mind what lenses you're going to use or what cameras you're going to use or what lighting you're going to use, etc. But I feel like the mistake that a lot of portrait photographers and fashion photographers make is that they are too close-minded and only think about their side of the photo shoot and don't think about what is in front of them, the model. Okay, so what are some examples of external factors? Well, you've got costume design, hair, makeup, special effects makeup, locations, poses, all that type of stuff. And the reason why these big fashion photographers or big portrait photographers take better portraits than you is not because their camera's 60 watts or because their lighting setup costs my mortgage. Like, nothing to do with that. It's because these external factors like the costumes, like the locations, are heavily considered in their work. So if you look at those photos, the models are wearing quite unique outfits or their hairstyle is quite different. But guys, at the end of the day, right, these are external factors. They don't have to be super standoutish and like unique, right? It just has to fit the theme that you're going for in your photos. Photography is about telling a story for your photos. So keeping in mind these external factors like the costume and like that type of stuff, right, will enhance your storytelling. And obviously the big difference between us and like the big photographers would be that they actually have like dedicated departments to adjust to those factors. So they have a costume department, they have a makeup department, all that type of stuff, right? But guys, the cold reality is we don't have access to that stuff, so we need to work on these external factors ourselves with the model's help. One tip that I would actually give you is to ask the model to wear the craziest outfit they own, or basically any outfit that they wouldn't usually wear out in public. For example, a few months back actually, I did this exact thing. I actually asked one of my model's friends just to bring the most crazy thing that she could wear to the shoot, and I think she delivered. That crazy and cool mask that she had on just made my photos much better. Like obviously the lighting was good and so on, all that type of stuff, right? But because of that mask and because of that cool outfit that she wore, the lighting and like all that type of stuff, or the lenses I use, all that type of stuff, was just a cherry on top. So for your next photo shoot, guys, ask yourself this: what could the model wear that would best fit the story I'm trying to tell in my photos? Another option could be to tell them to wear something from a different time period, or maybe a cosplay from a film. I actually have a full video going into detail on how you can navigate your costume design in your photos, which I'll put up here. And I also have plenty of videos going into detail with these other external factors, which you guys, you could check out my channel after this. Okay, so now on to the second tip, knowing how to create a comfortable environment for your model. I actually have a full video where I've interviewed a number of models asking them what a photographer should do to make them feel most comfortable within a photo shoot, which obviously I'll put up here. Guys, it's like a 20-minute long video. I go over so many like different answers, different perspectives, and I feel like if you're kind of new to the portrait photography game, or even if you're not new to it, you could definitely learn something, because I definitely learned something from that video. But in this video, I'm going to briefly go over some of the advice that I got from that. If you don't create a comfortable environment for the model, it'll be very difficult for you to get the best photos you want to get. So we need to start focusing on how to communicate with your model and how to work with them. At the end of the day, guys, models are human beings, meaning they have emotions, and said emotions can change depending on the environment that you create for them. So don't expect them just to be a robot. They're not just robots, they're just gonna pose for you no matter what you do. You're not gonna go, pose that, do that pose, do that. you need to navigate this in a more strategic way. One crucial lesson that I've learned throughout working with models and doing portrait shoots is that you're essentially a mirror for the model that you're shooting with. So if you're quite uptight and stressed out, right, the model will also be uptight and stressed out. Now guys, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with feeling concerned or stressed on a shoot, but we need to try and suppress and try not to express those negative emotions on the shoot, because if the model picks up on that, again, they will start to be stressed. They're also a mirror to you in the physical sense. So I noticed that I find the best way to communicate my pose ideas to my model is by actually doing the pose itself. I think that it's just much easier for them to understand what you're trying to get from them, and you can see there's like obviously a visual representation right there of what they should do. So for example, if I'm telling them to, I don't know, arch their back a bit more, straighten up their back, maybe like twist a little bit, just something, I don't know, whatever pose it is, right? I will do the pose for them first. Like I'll do the pose first, or at least to the best of my ability, and then, obviously I'm not a model, so yeah. And then they can kind of go, okay, I kind of understand what you're trying to get out here, and then they'll do it. Obviously you can just tell them to do that thing. If it's like a little adjustments, like just like moving your chin a little bit, that's fine. But so if you're talking about like from scratch, from like nothing, you're just standing there to a whole different pose, you probably want to do the pose yourself to help them understand what you want from them. Guys, maybe one of the reasons why you feel super uptight and overly professional on your portrait shoots is because you're taking it too seriously and you think, oh, because it's your job, you have to act a certain way. Yes, obviously it's a job, but guys, you're not their lawyer, you're not their doctor, you're just taking photos of them. One tip that I would give you if you're like struggling with this like overly professional manner and it's like mannerisms, right, is to treat the photo shoot like it's a hangout. So don't treat it as if, okay, I'm there to deliver results for a client. Go there to be like, okay, I'm here on this shoot with this model. I'm here to get to know the model. I want to get to know them. I want to like almost become friends with them, all that type of stuff. Because when you do it like this way, you notice that like the poses and the photos just come naturally because you're creating that comfortable environment for the model. As you're trying to get to know them, they feel appreciated. It almost feels as if like you're doing a photo shoot with a friend. Okay, so on to the final tip of today, finding the right focal length. Okay, so what is the best focal length when you portrait photography? Well, like in the external factors section, it depends on the theme or story that you're trying to convey in your photos. So if you like that more chaotic, maybe that more surreal and action-packed look, you may want to go for a lens like a 35mm or even wider than that. These wider focal lengths will be great because as you get closer up to your model, their face is distorted, their body is distorted. It just looks completely different and you're almost entering a new world, a new visual world per se. So you can be very creative and experimental with the poses and the compositions. But if you're like me and you like that more realistic, more perspective, more calm type of photos, you may want to use a tighter focal length like 50mm. Personally for me, I like to use an 85mm for most of my photos, as I believe not only does it get the most flattering look on the model, but I get the best bokeh, lens compression, and yeah, which helps me with achieving the look that I'm going for. At the end of the day, guys, don't think you have to use an 85mm or 50mm to get the most flattering, attractive look on your model, because if you like that more fun look, like I said earlier, like the more action-packed look, those lenses aren't going to be the best for you. So you probably want to use wider lenses. Guys, it's about what you want in your photos. Don't just follow these universal rules that people think that you should follow. Don't take photos that other people would like. Don't be like, well, the model won't look as sexy in this photo, so I want to use a tighter lens. Like, no, go for the look that you're going for. Make your own rules that cater to your style and not what everyone else wants to see. Implement any of these 3 rules and guys, just watch your work not only improve, but actually become unique and have a distinctive style. Anyway guys, that is it for the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys found this useful. Guys, implement any of these 3 tips. And just, again guys, it's not just all about making your work technically good, but it's also about making your work actually unique and different and actually be personalized to you. Like you want people to see your portraits and be like, that's your portraits, that's your photos. There's no way anyone else took those photos. That's what you need, right? Anyway guys, that is it. By the way, like I said in my intro, if you're interested in getting advice beyond these YouTube videos about your portrait photography, maybe it's anything to do with any of these free tips or anything like that, right? Again, top links in the description is my one-to-one portrait photography coaching program where I'll help you with just that. And if you want to learn more about portrait lighting, I actually offer a full in-depth portrait lighting course where I go over all the basics of portrait lighting. And trust me guys, by the end of that video course, you will just start to understand how all these professionals and fashion photographers light their models, and just actually start to light with intention too, because I do tell you in that course how to light with intention, how to have the story in mind when you're trying to light your models. So I'm not just telling you, oh, this is how you do this, that. It's not just blindly lighting your model. I'm telling you how to light with intention. That is also linked below. And if you're struggling with the basics of your camera, so like aperture, shutter speed, ISO, like the exposure triangle, I actually offer a free video course, a free exposure triangle guide video course, where again, I go fully in detail with how you could approach these settings, how to use the settings, how they work, all that type of stuff. If you want this guide, all you need to do, click the link below, which is my website, scroll down a bit, see this little block, put your name, email address in, click get your guide, and I'll send you that guide for free. Anyway guys, that is it. Click on any of these videos here to learn more about portrait photography, and I'll see you next time guys. Goodbye.